It's where the people came to play. Don't let them transform you. Oh, come and see what you've been missing on a little slice of heaven. It's the only place we're living. We're living. It's that West Coast point of view. Easy when it's always summertime for you.
Your body, your mind, and your spirit are all challenged by stress. What's going on in the outside world? That is stress. Stress is what's happening outside in the world. What you need to do is create an inner core that grows stronger in spite of that crazy outside world's stress. You can do it, and your yoga's going to help. This yoga will help. I'm Jan, this is 316 Yoga, this is Piper, that's Bunny, and this, most importantly, is your Yoga Plus practice. Yoga Plus, what's the plus? The plus is Barre, Pilates, and hand weights. We do it every single Friday, and we practice every single day. I hope you join me every single day. It's a live practice, start to finish, no cuts. It's live, with all of the craziness in between. 1 hour long, stick around for as long as you can. Maybe you can only squeeze in 10 minutes. It's all good. You gotta move to work on that stress. Whatever you do, do what's right for your body, as the bottom of our screen says. Don't hurt. If something hurts, back out of it. Don't do it. It's not right for you. It's not meant for you. Take it to a lesser percentage, or just modify. That is the ticket. Just move. That is so important. All right, so as I said, every day our practices are different. Check us out. We do all kinds of different things to help keep you fit and strong and dealing with that stress. The word to think about today is re-engage. Good for today, right? Re-engage. Come back to it. That's all that means. Come back to it. Don't quit. Know that you got to start over and over and over again with so many things. But I like to try to keep it fresh, and hopefully we're keeping it fresh for you, so it's exciting each and every single day. You're gonna need some props today. If you don't have any props, that's okay. You can still do it, but you're gonna do it your way. The props I'm gonna use today, this is called a bender ball. You can buy it online. There's lots of different types of balls like this, little mini therapy balls. The secret is it is a very thin membrane, and you don't blow it up all the way because you want to create an unstable surface. Have a bender ball. Weights, hand weights, little weights, big weights, maybe 2 cans from your pantry, maybe 2 water bottles, something to give you a little bit of resistance. Yoga block, yoga block. You can buy them online, you can buy them in the store, very inexpensive. Have those as well. I have a strap nearby, you might want to use it. I'm not going to use it today, but it's always nice to have. A little eye shade, a little hand towel, those come in handy for final Shavasana, of which we're doing a different variation today, so just kind of fun, stick around. And some water, that's it. That's all you need. Most important thing is the fact you're here and a willingness to be here. All right, we're going to come up to standing now. We do our standing warm-up. Grab your ball and let's come to standing. As you come up, think of a stress number on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, 1 to whatever. Where are you today? All right, take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. We're gonna take this ball for the warm-up. Place it between your thighs. If you don't have the ball, don't sweat it, no big deal. Maybe you could use a block if you got one of those. But you don't have to have anything. Just give it a good squeeze to activate your inner thighs. Hands on your hips. Your feet are now a little wider than hip width distance apart thanks to that ball. Let's start to come up onto our toes. Come up onto the ball of your feet, actually. I guess you're not coming up on your toes. Come up onto the ball of your feet. Take a big breath in through your nose. And a big sighing breath out through your mouth. Let it go, let it go, let it go. All right, drive your elbows back. Lift your chest up a little higher. Stand up straight. Have confidence. Have confidence because you know habits, things that we do over and over again become you. That's who you become. You become what you do in your habits. Invest in your well-being. Really, really, especially now during these busy holiday season. Stay focused. Focus on you. Don't neglect you. How are your calves feeling? You starting to be aware of them? I bet you are. Maybe hold it higher on the balls of your feet. Hold it up there. If you fall out, no big deal. Get right back in. Come down onto your heels, lift your toes up, and give them a wiggle. Plant your feet nice and solidly. Give that ball a little re-engagement with the squeeze. Lift your arms up to the sky. Extended mountain. Reach through your fingers. Big breath in. Big breath out. Feel your shoulders soften. Your hands, interlace the fingers. Send your palms up to the sky. Take a palm tree pose. That's swaying from side to side. You can have a bend in your elbows. The knees of your arm, your elbows. You can have a bend in your elbows if that feels good, or straighten them. Oh, stretch it out. What feels good for you? That is good yoga. doing what feels good for you, not feeling forced or competitive to do something that doesn't suit your body. Listen to your body. All right, arms back up to the midline. Cactus out your arms. Bring your biceps and triceps parallel to the earth. Palms facing forward. Squeeze your shoulders to the back of the room. Big breath in, big breath out. Remember hands down, that silly game? All right, bring your arms. So it's like you're slapping your palms down to the earth. Lift them up, slap them down. Up and down, all the while keeping those muscles in your upper back engaged. Let's finish. Bring your arms down by your sides. Let's do arm circles. All right, put a bend in your knees. Put a bend in your knees. Hands are on your thighs. Put a little bend here. Feel those calves again. Let's take our arms nice and long and straight. Sweep the arms on up and straighten your knees. Just make a big circle with your arms like you're drawing on the sides of your room. Nice big circles. And the circles, the size, make it to what feels good for you. Really getting into the shoulders with the big arms. Maybe that's not right for you. Maybe you just take little arm circles. But whatever you do, just move. And best advice ever, the 3 C's. Don't compete, don't compare, and don't complain. Breathe. Take your arm circles, other direction. Arms go up, knees straighten. Arms come down, knees bend. Isn't that really good? Don't compete, don't compare, don't complain. I love it. All right, come on up to standing. Stand nice and solid. Re-engage that ball. Give it a tight squeeze. Take a big breath in. Maybe the eyes are closed, and a big breath out. Start to sway from side to side, letting the arms be heavy down by your sides. Take a controlled twist. Look over your shoulder, then the other shoulder. And don't you just kind of know when you do this that this is good for you? This is a controlled twist. How many times do people say, oh, I've tweaked my back or my low back hurts? A controlled twist is a great way to stay in charge of those low back muscles. Look over your shoulder really far. Or maybe you're challenging your balance and you got your eyes closed. That's good too. Finish up. Come back to the midline of your body. Take a deep breath in. Feel lengthening all the way up to the crown of your head. And as you exhale, soften in the shoulders. Ragdoll pose. Bend forward. Hinge forward. Hinge forward. Look down at your toes. Maybe look to your knees. Let the blood rush to your head. Take your hands to opposite elbow creases. Put a little bend in your knees. Give the ball a good solid squeeze. And then start to sway the arms from side to side. Find length in your low back. Breathe. And this concludes our little warm-up. Maybe that's all you could squeeze in today, and that's fine. Just squeeze it in. Every little bit helps. Finish up. Bring your body to the midline. Release your fingertips to the earth. Your toes, lift them up off of the mat. Give them a wiggle. Bend your knees, come on down to your knees on the mat. Remove the ball and find a block or 2. Place a block or 2 at the top of your mat. And you can bring your knees together, big toes touching, and take a classic child's pose. For that classic child's pose, sink your hips back toward your heels. Go back as far as you like. Arms can come down by your side, palms face up. Bring your forehead down to your mat or find that block you put at the top and slide it down and place your forehead on it. Here, really reach your fingers toward the bottom of your mat, getting your shoulders away from your ears. An extended child's pose is a variation that I like to take. Spread your knees wide, big toes are still touching, and your arms are the difference here. You're going to put your hips back on your heels, push into your hands, maybe get your bottom onto your heels even. Think of stretching your mat and making it longer. If you want to add some more fun to this, the plus for the practice today is to place your hands onto the blocks, bringing your forehead down to the mat. Take a deep breath in and a big sighing breath out. Let it go. Your tailbone, think about your bottom. Send your tailbone to the back of the room. Reach your fingers long to the top of the room. Stretch out your spine. Let it feel great. Knees are getting a nice big stretch. So are your quadriceps, even your ankles. I bet you're not thinking about your ankles. But now you are. Your ankles are getting a nice stretch too. Take a deep breath in as you lengthen through the crown of your head. And a big sighing breath out as you let it all go. Close your lips if you like. Breathe in and out of your nose only if that feels right today. Build heat in your body as you breathe in and out of the nose. Feel and hear the sound of your breath in your body. Big breath in, big breath out. Child's pose. Come back to it anytime you want or stay here longer. You create this practice just the way your body needs it. For me today, what I'm going to do now is come out of my child's pose and I'm going to come up to a neutral tabletop. Knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. My forearms need a good stretch. So I'm going to turn my fingers so they're pointing toward my knees and my forearms are shining forward. Wiggle your hips from side to side. Send your hips a little back toward your heels. Woo! Feel it in the forearms. How does that feel? When you're ready, maybe press the weight more into the fingers and just get a good stretch on those forearms. Breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Every little bit of movement helps. The mobility, the flexibility, the lubrication of the joints, it's all good. And just have fun with it. All right, forearms all stretched out. Let's take the arms, give them a wiggle, the fingers, lift them up off the mat, circle your wrists, let it go. Toes pose. All right, you can grab a block, tuck your toes towards your shins. Come on up to standing on your knees. Take the block behind your heels and have a seat. This is intense. We're back to just the way we started in the warm-up. Remember we were popping up on the balls of the feet and then coming down on the heel, lifting the toes. Got to stretch out your foundation. Start from the ground up, right? Everything. You start from the ground up. Build that solid foundation. Now, if this hurts, come out of it. Some people it really hurts. Hinge forward, come out of it, or don't do it at all. Maybe just try a little bit. If it's uncomfortable, and it's always uncomfortable for me, if it's uncomfortable, just breathe through it. You got it. Nestle back, shoulders back a little bit more, maybe get into the toes a little bit more. Wiggle a little bit so you don't forget the pinky toe. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. That's enough for today. Let's do the counter pose and ankle pose. Remove the block. Yesterday we did toes pose for 2 minutes. All right, come to a neutral tabletop. Lift your feet up. Squeeze and scrunch the toes. Tap the feet out on the mat. And then using your 2 blocks, bring them by your side. Or not, you don't have to use the blocks. Tops of your feet are now on your mat. Sit back onto the tops of your feet. So this is called a thunderbolt pose. Every pose has a name. Arms on these blocks or onto the earth. Walk your hands back, walk the blocks back, and pop on up in those knees, allowing you to be on the tops of your feet. How does this feel? Close your eyes, push into your blocks or your mat, take it a little farther, stretch your ankles. Find that full range of motion in your ankles. It helps you walk better, especially if you're in a cold climate now, where we're starting to get ice on the ground. You want to have strong ankles. You want to have that mobility in your ankles to catch yourself if you're about to fall. All right, stretch out the ankles. All done here. Come back to your neutral tabletop. When you're ready, let's do cat-cow. All right, press into your hands. Your knees are on underneath your hips. Tops of your feet are pressed into the mat as well. Cat-cow pose, another complementary full range of motion stretch. Lengthen through the crown of your head and your tailbone. Really push into the earth. As you exhale the air out of your lungs, tuck your chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone under, arch your back up to the sky. Here's your cat. As you inhale, cow pose, tailbone lifts, crown of the head lifts. Really accentuate the tailbone going high up to the sky. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Get that spine moving. It feels like you're moving your spine in the shape of a C and then a backwards letter C. So there's your cat-cow. You know, if you're seated in a chair, you can still do this. You can do all your yoga seated in a chair. Be creative and make it work for you. Just move. All right, come to a neutral tabletop position. Here's your first opportunity, or next opportunity, to use the ball if you have it and if you want to do it. Place it underneath your right knee. So here's your squishy surface. That's why it's not inflated all the way. Draw your right toes towards your right shin, so it's a kind of a kickstand. Now, this is uneven, so you're going to have to balance. That's good. When you balance, you're engaging your core. Lift your left leg up, left knee at about hip height. Left leg extends long. Really shoot the energy through the heel to the back of the room. Hold it right here. It is a challenge. If you don't like the ball, ditch it. Remove it. You don't have to do that. Left leg is extended long. And let's add the right arm in for more balance. Lift your right arm up. Reach and stretch it to the front of the room. Reach through your fingertips. Reach through your heel. Reach, lengthen in your spine. Whew. And if you want, elbow to knee underneath your navel. And then stretch. Oh my goodness, that's a challenge, isn't it? Oh, stretch, reach. Don't skimp on the stretch. Third time's the charm. Let's finish up. Hand comes down, knee comes down. My heart is racing. How about you? Let's switch it. Ball under the other knee. Whew. Tuck the left toes. Rise on up. Always good to rise on up. Do that right leg. Extend it. Reach. Kick it out. Maybe you stay right here. Right leg is extended. Let's take the opposite arm. Maybe reach it forward. Reach, stretch, lengthen to strengthen. Elbow to knee, maybe once, and that might be enough. Maybe twice. How about 3? Go for 3. And then reach and stretch and finish. Hand comes down, knee comes down, remove the ball. That is your bird dog on the ball. That's the plus part. My goodness, it is a challenge, isn't it? Whew. All right, let's do fire hydrant pose. You can do it with a ball. You can do it with a weight. You can do it with a block or nothing at all, or whatever prop you have. I'm going to use the ball. Place it behind my right knee. Again, that neutral tabletop position. Re-engage here. Be strong. Be one with the earth. Press into the earth. Fire hydrant. Lift your right leg up to the side of the room. Like a dog on a fire hydrant, right? Draw your toes towards your shin to help hold on to whatever you got behind your knee. Lift and lower. Whew. Maybe you take it high. Maybe you're a big dog. Maybe it's low. Maybe it's a little dog. All dogs we love. Breathe. Here's a refinement for you. Lift it up. Knee more towards your armpit, and then the ankle higher than the knee. Oh, get into that hip. Breathe. All right, keep your right hip and your left hip equidistant to the mat. All right, let's finish up. Hover your right knee next to the left. Place the knee on down. Let's go to the other leg in your fire hydrant. All right, bring the ball behind your left knee. Lift it on up as you push into the earth. Draw the toes toward the shin and start to lift to the side. Do you like this pose? I like this pose. I feel that it really does something. Because you know, your hips are really big. Big ball and socket. Got to move them. Got to really enjoy that range of motion. You know, you may think this is hard, but you know it's harder when you can't move your hips, when it hurts when you move. So you got to keep using it. Use it or lose it. Are you ready to refine it? Knee toward the armpit, ankle a little higher. Breathe. And when you're ready, let's finish. Knee hovers next to the other knee. Knee comes down. Child's pose, extended child's pose. Remember that? Let's do it again. Knees spread wide. Big toes touching. Sink your hips back to your heels. Stretch it out. Forehead comes toward the earth. Forearms down on your mat if you can. Breathe. Press back out of this neutral tabletop. That was our donkey kick, or our fire hydrant. Let's do donkey kicks next. Bring the ball behind your right knee again. Lift the right leg on up. Hips are equidistant to the mat. Thigh is parallel to the earth. Draw your toes towards your shin and start to kick your bottom. And it's fun if you have the ball in there because you got a little bit of resistance. If there's no ball at all, just keep kicking it in. And if you have the weight, be really careful here. You don't want to drop the weight, right? All right, recheck in with that right hip. Re-engage it. Both hips equidistant to the earth. Little teeny kicks toward your bottom. Finish up. Give it a tight squeeze in that ball. Hold it here. You can squeeze it tighter than that. Come on. Kick it up to the sky. Nice tight hold on the ball. Kick it up, up, up. Whew, sometimes we do this standing, more bar-like practice. But we do it with a chair, or you can have a bar. And you're just working it differently. All right, let's finish. Let's bring the right knee slowly down toward the left knee. Hold it, just hover it for a second. And then right knee comes down. Other side. It's getting fun, isn't it? Place the ball behind the left knee. Neutral, tabletop. Re-engage, press into the earth. You've got it. Donkey kick. Lift, lift, lift. The left leg high. Knee is at about hip height. Nice squeeze with the heel toward your bottom. Dial your left hip down a little bit so your hips are equidistant to the mat. Breathe. You getting warm yet? Breathe. Soften in your jaws. Just kick, donkey kick. So you feel kind of some tightness in your low back. You're strengthening it. Let's give the ball a nice tight good squeeze. Now start to pulse the ball up to the sky. Breathe, breathe. Hello, Marietta. Hello, Karen. Hello, Roger, Tina, Louise, Donna, Kelly, Nancy, Alan, Louise, Peter, good to see you. All right, how are you doing? Are we done with these donkey kicks? Bring the knee to hover. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Stan. Hi, Ken. Hover the knee. Place the knee on down. You know what? Child's pose. You're an expert at it now. Do it. Remove the ball. Knees spread wide. Hips back to your heels. Stretch it out. Even out. Reach your hands long to the top of the mat. Big breath in. Big breath out. Guess what's next? Plank. Let's do it. All right. Hips are nice and stretched out and even. We do a plank just about every single practice because planks strengthen your entire body when your core is engaged. When you're doing a plank, everything is engaged. Everything is engaged. Try it. Try it. That's all I ask. Set a timer for 1 minute. You do it as long as you like. If it's 10 seconds today, good on you. Maybe tomorrow it's 12. Maybe tomorrow it's 8. Who cares? Just try. All right, here's what you can do. Neutral tabletop. Knees can go back a little bit. Hands can come forward a little bit. You can hinge forward, feeling the weight shift into your arms. Hold it here. Press into the earth. That's a fine variation. If the wrists don't like it too much, come on down to your forearms. Palms pressed into the mat. Knees go back a little bit more, hinging the weight forward, having your shoulders over your elbows. You can hold it here. You can tuck your toes towards your shin, pop on up to a dolphin plank and hold it. I'm gonna take a high plank. Lots of ways you can take it. Take it any way you like. Now, for a high plank, shoulders over your wrists, legs go long, feet hip width distance apart. Let's begin. Timer starts now. Let's go. 1 minute. Oh, it's gonna be 1 minute, 3 seconds. All right, so hold on, whichever variation you're in. Lengthen through your spine. You are stronger than you think you are. Get your mind out of the way and let your body perform. Let your body do what it can. We are all way stronger than we think we are. We are almost halfway into a minute. Nice job, everybody. Hold it here. There are variations you can take. Drop to your knees if you need to take a breath or two. Pop back up and get back in the game. We are 40 seconds in. If you'd like, send your hips high to a down dog and take a break that way. But just come back to it. Re-engage. Don't quit. You're almost there. 10 seconds to go. You can do anything for 10 seconds. Hold on. Breathe. Press into the earth. You got it. Hold. Now here's the plus part. Yoga plus. If you want to stay longer than a minute is up. Stay a little bit longer. A couple seconds longer. You got it. Do what you can. And then finish. Drop to your knees. All right. Surprise, right? A little longer than a minute. grab a drink of water, and let's do some other core stuff. Ah, you feel invigorated? Uh-huh, that's what you call it. You know, really, you do feel better. Because you know you're doing good things, right? All right, let's work on the core a little bit more. Come on down with your ball, or no ball at all, totally fine. I'm gonna slip the ball behind my low back. If you don't have the ball, come all the way down to the ground. I'm gonna bend my knees, soles of the feet touch, knees open wide, hands like prayer. I'm gonna lean back on this ball, but I'm gonna keep my chest lifted. I'm gonna do little teeny pulses here, up, up, up. If you're on the ground, maybe bring your fingers to your temples. Little teeny lifts, lifts, lifts. Feel it in your low belly. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Don't forget the knees. Keep them open wide. Breathe, breathe. Little pulses. You got it. Let it be fun. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Let's finish. Come on all the way up, or if you want to lie down, if you didn't use the ball, go that way. All right, we're going to remove the ball. We're going to come back to reclining on our back. You could take a block or your ball and give it a squeeze between your ankles. Come on back. Let's take a Pilates pose called hundreds. I know, Rosemary, this is your favorite. Make it your favorite, right? Okay, I got to tell you something funny when we do our hundreds. All right, let's peel our shoulders on up. Shoulders are lifted, legs are long, arms down by your sides. You're gonna pat the ground like you just got a cute little Christmas puppy. Lift your heels up if you like and squeeze the ball. The idea is we do this 100 times. All right, enjoy it, have fun with it. Take a break if you need to, come on down. I'm not counting, you do as many as you can, as many as you like. Here's the funny story. It's all in your perspective, right? I've got a friend. Whew. We hike. There's a big hill we have to hike up. One of my friends calls it Heart Attack Hill. The other friend calls it Healthy Heart Hill. You pick, right? It is what you think it is. Breathe. How are your hundreds coming? I think we are about done. Come on down, stretch it out. Reach your arms high overhead, point your toes long, stick pose. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Press on up to a seated position. Remove the ball. Let's take our cosmic egg pose. Nice, tight, quick little tuck. Bring your heels up towards your bottom. Wrap your forearms around your shins. Whew. Bring your forehead towards your knees. Maybe pop on up onto the toes. Maybe find balance on your bottom. Tuck your chin to your chest and your forehead towards your knees. Breathe. Let's come out of this. Come down. Crisscross at the ankles. Come on up to standing. But here's the fun. Bring the weights and the ball. Let's go. All right. So with the ball, up between the thighs. Nice tight squeeze. You got it. Hold on. No ball. Don't sweat it. You can do this. All right. Let's take our weights by our hips. Have a seat. Chair pose, you know this one, Utkatasana. All right, so Utkatasana is a yoga pose, but we're gonna turn this into a bar pose. So sit back, put the weight a little more into your heels, so much so that you can lift your toes up a little bit. Give them a wiggle. Don't forget that ball. Give it a squeeze. Little teeny pulses, down, 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 down. Breathe, gazes forward. Whoo. Little teeny pulses. Take it nice and low and hold. Feet are planted. Hold it here. Breathe. When you're ready, again, little teeny pulses. Down, down, down. Maybe take it a wee bit lower. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Now, hold it down nice and low. Send the weight into the balls of your feet so your heels are slightly lifted. Hold it right here. Pulse it down, down, down. Oh my goodness, I feel that. Burn, baby, burn in those thighs, right? Breathe, breathe. Little teeny pulses. Stay high on the ball of your feet. Sink your hips a little bit lower. Shoulders a little more back. Finish. Come up to standing. Plant your feet. Ay, ay, ay. How are you feeling? Low body, solid and strong. Weights to your shoulders. Start to lift the weights up to the sky. I'm just glad to be out on my low body now. Work the arms, lift and lower. Squeeze that ball, have no mercy on it. Breathe, breathe, lift. And if you want, start to alternate with the arms or do both at the same time. Maybe you've discovered whatever pound weights you have is a little much, so take a little bit of a break. You're not stopping, you're taking a little break, giving one arm a rest, taking it in half time, or speed it up. You do what feels good for you. All right, weights to your shoulders. Now open up your arms, tee them out nice and wide. Palms face up, little teeny pulses of the arms up, up, up. Shoulders back, chest is lifted. Hold on, you got it. And you know, maybe the weights are too much. Maybe the weights are too little. Get new weights. Work with them. Make them do the job you want them to do. You don't want to quit. Keep at it. Flip your hands, palms face down. Pulse them down, down, down. Chest is still lifted. You got it. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Arms down by your sides. Take a wee bit of a break. Think of the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe shrug them up to the ears, shrug them to the back wall, and bring them down. Nice job. Put a little bend in your knees. Take the tension off of the knees. Tee out your arms. Bend your elbows. Palms face forward. Your cactus arms. Little bend in the knees feels good. Take the tension off of them. Breathe here. Start to lift the arms. The difference here is the palms are facing forward. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Remember that hands down we did a moment ago? Bring your arms back to that cactus position. Bring your hands down toward the earth like you're slapping the imaginary air. Bring them on back up and back down. Imaginary air. You know what I'm saying. Bring the weights to as if you're slapping the ground. Up and back, up and back down. You got it. You got it. You got it. All right, cactus the arms. Breathe, lift the weights up to the sky. Cactus the arms and lift. This time add in the knees. Put a bend in the knees when the arms are cactused. Straighten them up when you come up. Breathe, breathe, breathe. You're strong. Don't quit now. Arms go up high to the sky. Bring them down by your sides. Soften through the shoulders. Maybe circle the shoulders toward the back of the room. Arms down by your sides. When you're ready, pop back up onto the balls of your feet. Hold it here. Holding the weights kind of might make it easier. Or you can have a chair nearby too. Hold it here, little teeny pulses, up and down. Up and down, balls of your feet are lifted. You're just kind of straightening through the knees a little bit and then back down. Arms are resting. Now, let's add the arms back in. Pulse and hold it nice and low. Arms, send them straight back like the ends of the weights are going to punch through your back wall. And pulse them, pulse them. Your gaze is still forward. Breathe. Or maybe you're on the balls of your feet. Maybe you've come down to your solid feet. It's all good. Now start to pulse the weights in, in, in. Feel the opening through your chest. Feel the strengthening of your upper back. You got it. Let's finish. Straighten up through the feet. Straighten up through the knees. Feet are on the ground. Weights down by your sides. Take a big breath in, and a big shoulder softening breath out. Let's get into the triceps. Lift the weights up to the sky. Bring the weights together overhead. Hold on to them real well here. Don't drop them. Maybe you put one weight down. Bend your elbows. Those weights are helping. Stretch out those triceps. Breathe. Little bend in your knees might feel right. Lift and lower through the arms. Feel the stretch in the tricep, that back part of your arm. Breathe, breathe. Oh my goodness. Feels great. Feels great to move. All right, let's finish up. Arms down by your sides. Let those weights do their thing. Circle your shoulders to the back of the room. Oh, feels good. We deserve it after all that. Still the arms. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Hinge forward. Place your weights down. Keep the ball where it is if you want. Walk your hands forward to a downward facing dog. Hands are on your mat. They're shoulder width distance apart. Feet, if you got the ball, they're automatically hip width distance apart. Think of your tailbone going high to the sky. You're on the balls of your feet, so your heels are slightly lifted. Shake your neck, loosen it up, and then pedal it out with your feet. One heel closer to the earth than the other. This is your downward facing dog. Finish up, still your heels, tailbone high to the sky, neck is loose. Now walk your hands back to meet your feet or your feet up to meet your hands. Slowly, think of placing one vertebra on top of the other from the bottom up. Build your foundation, keep your chin tucked to your chest. Come on up to standing, chin away from your chest. Remove the ball, and let's do tree pose. All right, balancing, so important. But our feet, we've worked on our feet a lot today. So I think you're gonna find this tree a lot more accessible today. You could have a chair nearby, it's up to you. Weight into the left leg, weight out of the right. Sole of the right foot, heel can balance on the inner left ankle, or bring it a little higher or higher still. Just don't place it on the knee. Outside of the right knee drives to the back of the room. Lengthen up through your hips. You're rooted solidly into your left foot. Gaze forward. You have to concentrate on this moment. You can't think about anything else, and that's a good thing. Grow your arms. Grow your arms. Grow your branches like branches of a tree and sway them. Hands back to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room. Knee at hip height. Sweep the arms up, one-legged mountain. Breathe. Take a big step out with your right heel, putting all the weight into your right foot. Hinge forward with the parallel arms. Come into a warrior three pose. Parallel arms are reaching to the front of the room. Left leg lifts. Dial the left hip down. Try to bring your body into the shape of a letter T. Lengthen and find strength here, and you're balancing. You got it. Hands to prayer center. Left foot meets right on the mat. Let's do it again on the other side. Root into your right leg. Weight out of your left. Open up the left knee to the side of the room. Sole of the left foot goes wherever you want it without putting it on the inside of the right knee. It's too much pressure, and it's lateral pressure on the knee, which you don't want to do. Push the leg into the foot and the foot back into the leg. Grow your branches if you like, or hold on to that chair and just wave. It's all good. Breathe. Focus on you and what you're doing. It's pretty amazing. Hands to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room. Keep the knee at about hip height. Arms lift, one-legged mountain. Reach through your fingers. Find length in your hips even. Lengthen up through your neck. With the left heel, kick it really far forward and come to hinge the weight into the left leg. Reach through the arms, warrior three. Right leg lifts a little or a lot. Reach through your arms. Breathe, find your balance. Hands to prayer center. Right foot meets left on the mat. You did it. You did it. Hands to prayer center, lengthen up. Exhale, let it go. Arms down by your sides. Just relax for a moment. Just be you. Feel how you feel. Feel your posture. Let's do You Will Look Taller. Zip your legs up. Arms lift. Arms are like the letter Y. Backs of your hands to the back of the room. Breathe. Chest opens up. Really push the backs of the hands to the back of the room. Your body looks like the letter Y for the word you. Bend your elbows down toward the earth. Whew. The letter W in the arms for the word will. Squeeze your spine. You got it. 2 L's in your arms. Elbows hugged in by your side. 2 backward and forward L's. Now tee out your arms. Pulse them to the back of the room. Love those pulses. Thank you, Pilates. Thank you, Barre, for all these moves. When you're ready, you will look taller. You got it. And let's do it one more time. You will look. T for taller. Pulse it out. Finish up. Arms hang down by your sides. How do you feel now? Do you feel taller? Do you feel in your body that your spine is more erect? You're standing up nice and straight. Even your ears, bring them back over your shoulders. Big breath in. Big breath out. Forward fold. Walk your hands forward on your mat and come on down. Come on down and let's find the ball. Come onto your side. No ball at all, totally fine. Bend your right arm, because you're on your right hip. Bend your right arm, elbow under shoulder. Forearm parallel to the top of the mat. Squeeze the ball between your thighs. Start to squeeze it and squeeze it and squeeze it. It's up to you. Would you like to lift your ankles up? Lift the knees up and keep squeezing. This is a clamshell pose. Hand can be on your hip if you want to have an attitude. Hand can be down as a kickstand if you like. You decide. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Pulse, pulse, pulse. You could always keep your ankles down. No sweat. Nobody's watching. Nobody is concerned about how you're doing it. They don't even know how to do it, so you do it your way. Let's finish up. Let's take the clamshell to the other side. Roll onto the other hip. Same thing, forearm parallel to the top of your mat. Ball between your thighs. Give it a healthy squeeze. Ankles are glued together. You can keep squeezing it here. Keep squeezing it. Or lift the ankles up and squeeze here. Squeeze. I mean, really squeeze. Don't just bounce. Squeeze, 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 and gently release. How are you doing? Back to those hips. You're going to have a strong body when you're done with your yoga. Strong body, strong mind, strong spirit. And it all helps deal with your stress. We all know that. All right, let's finish up. Remove the ball. Come on up to seated, seated forward fold. Toes up toward the sky, legs long, lift your arms. Exhale, reach forward like you're handing someone a gift. Reach, feel the space open up in your low back. For me, this feels very much like how I feel when I do ragdoll. Reach, reach, reach. Maybe you can touch your calves, your toes, whatever. Send your gaze to your knees. Come on up, seated. Spread your legs wide. Walk your hands forward. We did this yesterday in a practice, and we held it for a long period of time with the assistance of blocks. Let's see how we do today without the blocks. Reach your arms more forward. Gaze down to the earth beneath you. Toes, give them a wiggle. Let the tension go in your legs. Maybe a little bend feels better. Look down toward the earth. Look back towards your belly button. Finish up. Shoulders over your hips. Come on down to your back with your weights. Come on down, all the way down to your back. Bend your knees, heels by your bottom, weights back towards your hips. Remember how we did that chair pose with the weights? Same kind of thing here. Weights, let's press on up to a bridge pose. Press the weight into your feet and lift through your hips and pulse your hips up, up, up to the sky. And you think, oh, what's the big deal with the weights? If you take them away, feel the difference. Oh my gosh, it's like your hips are light as air. So press the weights up, up, up to the sky. Maybe work your feet a little closer to your bottom, ankles perhaps right under your knees. Maybe pop on up to the balls of your feet and pulse, pulse, pulse. How are you doing? Having fun yet? Pulse. And don't quit. If you don't like it, or it's getting to the point where you're saying, I want to quit, just remove the weights. Put them down by your sides. That's all right. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Bring your feet back down, solid to the mat. Pulse, 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 up, 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 hips to the sky. Now do remove your weights. Let's all remove the weights and feel how easy a bridge pose is. Remember that. All right, roll your back on down, one vertebra at a time, all the way down. Tailbone comes down last. Let's do something on our belly, and that something is Superman. Come on over, roll onto your belly. Roll onto your belly, arms long, and reach to the front of your room. Tops of your feet on your mat, work your feet a little bit apart. Let's do Superman. Now, your head is down. I'm not going to put my head down or I'll crush this mic, but your forehead is down on your mat. Maybe lift one leg up, maybe lift the other leg up, maybe add both legs in, so you feel like you're balancing on your pelvis. Perhaps add in the arms, lift the arms up. Here's your Superman. Superman, reach, strengthen your low back. Let's do a Pilates move. It's called swimmer. Start to kick your feet. Start to kick your feet so much that the arms kind of move whether you want them to move or not. There's your swimmer pose. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Still your legs. Come back to your Superman. Sweep your arms back. Come back to an airplane pose. Reach through your fingertips. Arms reach back. Gaze down your nose. Lift a little more through your chest. Finish. Hands come down onto your mat. When you're ready, let's press on up. Seal pose. Soften in your glutes. Straight arms. Breathe. That's a little bit of a break. Come on back to a seated position. Seated position, legs are long on your mat. Remember that seated forward fold? Lift your arms up. Reach your arms forward. Stretch out the low back. Now, reach for your calves, reach for your ankles. Maybe reach for your toes. Maybe drape your wrists. Wrists touch toes, and you drape your hands over your feet. Little pedal it out in the knees. No stress. Gaze down to your knees. Let it go. Come on back up. Shoulders over your hips. This time, cross the ankle. Cross the right ankle over the left. Lengthen up through your arms. Reach forward. Reach forward. Then look to your knee. Maybe capture your feet. Elbows are near your knees. Looking at that knee. If it's close, touch your nose to it. Or give it a kiss. Or close your eyes and imagine doing that. Lengthen through your spine. Exhale, fold a little more forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold a little more forward. Hollow out your belly. You got it. Come on up. Shoulders over your hips. Uncross the legs. Bring the other leg on top. Other legs on top. Lengthen up through your arms. Reach through your fingers. Reach, reach, reach. Capture what you can capture. Bring your nose towards your knee. Inhale, you're going to fill your belly up with air, and you're going to rise up a little bit. And exhale, hollow out your belly, and then maybe kiss your nose. Kiss your nose. Kiss your nose. Kiss your knee. Touch your nose to your knee. It's not quite there yet. Close your eyes and imagine it happening. Because it's going to happen. You're going to get there if you stick with your yoga. Keep re-engaging every day. And then finish. Come on up, shoulders over your hips. One more. Legs together in a natural position. Toes up toward the sky. Arms lift. Exhale, reach forward. Reach, reach, reach some more. Capture what you can capture. Maybe you can capture more than you did a moment ago. Elbows by your knees. Breathe. Fold forward. Gaze toward your knees. Breathe. Come on up. Shoulders over your hips. How did you do? Just kind of fun, right? Okay, let's come on down to our backs. You know what? Bring your towel and your eye shade up near your shoulders, because you're going to use that for your final Shavasana. A different variation of final Shavasana today. Shake it up, something different. All right, let's come on back to fully reclined. Keep your core engaged and come down slowly. No clunking here. You got it. All the way down. All the way down, supine twist. Left leg, drive it long to the bottom of your room. Imagine somebody pulling your left leg all the way to the bottom of the room. So you want your left toes up, lengthening that leg so much so you feel it in your left hip. Bend the right knee, interlace your fingers, hug the right knee in. Circle your ankle in one direction. Circle your ankle in the other direction. Hug it in, squeeze it in, you got it. Left hand guides the right knee across the midline of the body as you roll onto your left hip. Tee out your right arm and look toward the right as far as feels good for you. Right shoulder stays down. Your gaze is to the right. Breathe. Bring your right hip back to the mat. Your gaze goes back up to the sky. Hug the right knee in one more time. Now imagine taking that hip and bringing the knee out, out, out to the armpit, and just hug it in here. Bring it on back, knee back up toward the sky. Hug it in toward the midline of your body and release. Right leg goes long. Let's do it on the other side. Lengthen that right heel toward the bottom of the mat. Lengthen the right hip, feel it. Left knee bends. Interlace fingers, hug it in. Shoulders are down and soft. Ankle, circle it in both directions. Hug it in, hug it in, hug it in. You got more strength in your arms. You did a lot of weights today. Right hand guides the left knee across the midline of the body. And the hand helps the knee come toward the earth. Doesn't have to touch it. The big thing is to keep your opposite shoulder down. The left shoulder, feel that nice big twist. Tee out your left arm and look to your left. Breathe. A couple breaths. Nice big twist. You got it. Slowly finish. Gaze goes back up to the sky. Knee comes up too. Interlaced fingers are going to hug this knee in again. Now the knee, bring it toward the armpit. Hug it in, kind of like you feel like your hips on the outside. Bring it back to the midline. Hug it in. Squeeze it in. You got it. Left leg goes long. All right, stretch it out here in a stick pose. Arms go high overhead. Another Pilates move. Let's do a Pilates bicycle before we go into final Shavasana. All right, so what you want to do is send your hips high up to the sky. So hips go up. Hold on, kickstand it here by holding onto the hips. Legs go up to the sky. Try to straighten them up if you can. And then ride a bicycle here. So this is your Pilates bicycle. Breathe, as opposed to our yoga bicycle, which we do most days. All right, finish up, shoulder stand. For a shoulder stand, legs go up toward the sky, and then imagine your toes are really heavy. For a plow pose, let them come back by your head. So overhead, let the toes fall toward the earth. They don't have to touch the earth, but bring them on back as best you can. And then finish. Bring your spine on down to your mat. There you go. Let's do our happy baby pose, hugging left knee into the left armpit, right knee into the right armpit, and just rock a little bit from side to side. In this happy baby pose, you can stay right here, or you can capture the inner thighs, inner calves, or you can capture your heels. If you've captured the heels, straighten one leg, circle the ankle, bend that knee, send the other leg high, and circle that ankle. Switch them out. One leg bends, the other leg goes up to the sky. Nice big bend in your knees. The more you use it, the better you feel. And you know the saying, motion is lotion? I love that saying. The more you move something, and we all know this, the synovial fluid in the knees and in the joints, when you move it, it feels better. So move it. All right, happy baby, let's finish up. Hug your knees in toward the midline. One more time, rock a little bit from side to side, and let's come on into our final Shavasana on one side of your body. All right, so you could use the ball or the block. Roll onto one side. Use your low arms bicep as a pillow and take the block and put it between your knees. So your top knee is at the same level as your hip. Close your eyes. Now you know there's lots of variations of final Shavasana. You take the one you like. Classic final Shavasana, you're solidly on your back, arms down by your sides, palms face up. With your palms face up, bring your heels toward the edges of the mat and let the pinky toes fall more toward the earth. That's your classic variation. So many variations. You do what is comfortable for you. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let your body be heavy and let your heart be light. Unclench your jaws if your teeth are touching. Soften in your face, your shoulders. Let it be. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Focus is solely on your breath. deepen your breath. Maybe all your breathing is in and out of your nose. Or maybe you breathe in through the nose and sigh it out through your mouth. Your body is heavy. You've let all tension go. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. If you can stay longer as you focus on that inner peace, enjoy it. No rush, no hurry. If it is time for you to conclude your hour, let's begin to awaken the body. Maybe wiggle the fingers and toes. Circle the wrists and the ankles a little bit. Just move them. Appreciate your foundation. If you're in a classic final Shavasana pose, stretch it out in a big good morning stretch. Bend your elbows and knees and roll into a fetal position like we're in on our side lying Shavasana. As you're ready, press on up to a comfortable seated position. Whatever is comfortable for you. Bring your hands to prayer center in gratitude. I think that's a real important part of concluding your practice. Palms touch, feel the warmth in your hands. Shoulders relax, shoulders over hips, ears slightly back, chin slightly tucked. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. And just have a moment of gratitude here as you exhale, let everything go. Be thankful to yourself for coming to your mat. Be thankful to your body for doing your yoga. Take a deep breath in, lengthen up. And a big sighing breath out. Let it all go. Blink your eyes open. You did it. You absolutely, positively did it, and you did a great job. Stress number you took in the beginning. What was it? And now what is it? I'm sure it's a lot lower. The pose we did at the end, final Shavasana on our sides, there's theories about which side to lie on. Right side to reduce your blood pressure, left side to increase stimulation of the digestive system, all kinds of different ways of looking at it. I've posted a little article on that in our group, Friends of 316 Yoga Online. Check it out. If you want to join the group, it's private. Let me know and I'll let you in. All right, so the stress thing for today. Stress is not what happens to us. It's our response to what happens. And our response is something that we choose. And your yoga really helps you choose the right response to keep the stress level down. So important, especially this time of year. All right, guys. There you go. What do you think? Did you have fun in yoga today? Have a good day, everybody. Thank you for being here. Our yoga's on the weekends, too. Check us out, and we'll be back with you live on Monday. Thanks. Goodbye. See you later. Bye. Have a good day. Goodbye. Goodbye. Happy Black Friday. Bye. I'm glad that you're still here. You know what? Strangely, life gets harder when you try to make it easy. Coming to yoga, doing your yoga may be kind of hard, especially in this busy season, but you're sticking with it because you're still here. But you know, never moving is even harder than coming to your yoga every day. Never moving makes life a lot harder. Easy has a cost. Don't take the easy path. Come do your yoga. Enjoy your yoga every day during the holidays. It's a busy time, but carve out that little bit of time for you to enjoy your time on your mat. Thanks for being here, guys. See you on your mat tomorrow. Don't forget, tell your friends to come too. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Tomorrow, be there. May not be easy, but you'll be glad you did it. See ya.